Good Friday morning, everyone. I hope this has been the end of a triumphant week, and I hope that you are living your very best life in Jesus Christ. Well, Landry came into my office the other morning, and in a very serious tone, he informed me that he is now the king. The king of what? I asked. He said, everything. I said, well, who made you king? He thought about that one for a minute, and he said, I did. I said, okay. And I thought for a minute. Well, what happens when mom or pop or nana or daddy decides you are going to do something bad that's going to hurt you and they stop you? Who's in charge then? What happens when someone has to make you do something that you really need to do? Who's going to be in charge? He said, I am. I get to decide whether to listen to them. But, okay, let's say you do what you want and you get hurt. Then whose fault is it? He looked at me very seriously and he said, well, it's yours, Pop. You didn't stop me. Conversations like these with Landry and other kids over the years have given me an interesting insight in how God must see us and our need to be in charge, to be kings and queens of our own lives. I mean, if you think about it, all of our problems with God stem from us feeling the need to be in charge of our lives. I mean, think about it. Original sin was caused by that human trait that tends to make us think that no one knows better than we do and that we are ultimately in total control of our lives. Well, I hate to tell folks this, but as much as God is gracious and He does allow us free will, we need to understand that we are not really in charge. I mean, He does allow us to make choices. In the same way that we allow Landry to choose what he wants for dinner or what he wants to wear. But in the end, God's will be done, in the same way that in the end, Mom and Dad and occasionally Pop and Nana will end up being in charge of Landry's life. Well, why? Well, it's obvious. Because he doesn't really know what's safe and best for him. He has to be guided to grow in wisdom by loving wiser heads and hands. Landry does need to make decisions and occasionally needs to be allowed to make bad choices. But it is the adults in his life who have the ultimate responsibility to see that first, no harm comes to him, and to secondly, hope that the experience will teach him to make good decisions in the future. And God does the same for us. And I have to laugh, though, that many folks, older folks, just like my little buddy, want to be in charge until something bad happens. And then they want to blame God for the outcome when they really have no one to blame but themselves. The truth of the matter is that today all over the world, on the playground, in the job site, in the office, in the marketplace, or at home, we will all be tempted to place ourselves in charge. But to do so will, in the end, cause us to forget who's really in charge. To be a Christian means that we not only take the name of Christ with us, but that we serve a master far greater and more knowledgeable than ourselves. The circumstances may not be easy, but as we grow and learn by following Christ, we will hopefully realize the folly of trying to do it all ourselves and place our hope and trust on the one who is really, ultimately, in control. That's why Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 tells us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. That verse means a lot to me, because if there's one thing I've learned in the last few years especially, it is that in the end, I'm not in charge, and you know what? I really don't need to be. I trust in the Lord, even when I don't understand, and somehow, some way, He always comes through for me. Oh, that doesn't mean I always like what's happening, and a lot of times bad stuff happens that I just don't care for. But I do have the peace of knowing that He is with me. He will never leave nor forsake me, and that I'm really most fulfilled when I climb down from that man-made throne and kneel at the feet of the one and only true and eternal loving King. So, as far as Landry's concerned, I'll let him think he's king for a while. At least until it's time to make him do something he doesn't really want to do, like brush his teeth or pick up the living room. And as he grows, I will work to teach him to trust in the Lord and pray every day that he grows up to find the real king of this universe and his life, because that king will be back very soon. I hope you make today a fantastic day. I want you to have a fantastic weekend, and I hope to see everybody in church on Sunday. Remember, I'm here if you need me, and I love you all.